I'm actually going to talk about the entire album titled Photographs of the Columbia River and Oregon. It was produced in 1872 by Carleton Watkins. The book itself it's very rare. It contains 51 albumin prints made from mammoth plate glass negatives. And the specific image that the book is open to right now, titled Ruins of the High Bridge Cascades, Columbia River, was taken in 1867. The 1849 gold rush in California had lured Watkins to the west. So he first landed in Sacramento and then ultimately ended up in San Francisco. He was noticed by a nearby photography studio manager who thought he was very charismatic and was hired to pretend to be a photographer because the studio photographer quit suddenly, and as a portrait studio, they didn't want to lose out on the business, but they could still make the images, so they hired him to pretend to be a photographer. He first started out with Daguerreotype, which was a really complicated and very hazardous process involving mercury vapor, which we all know is pretty toxic. And right around that time is when the wet plate collodion process was developed, and that's actually what was used to make all of these images. You start with a plate and you coat it with collodion, which is about the consistency of pure maple syrup. So it's sticky and viscous. And so you're balancing this and coating your plate, and then you have to dunk it in silver nitrate liquid while it's still wet, get it into the camera, expose it, and process it while the whole thing is still wet. So it's actually still a very complicated process, which I think of every time I look at these prints. Just to get the negative ready to capture the image is in itself an arduous task.